Uh, Greetings, YouTubers and live videoers. It's me, Women29. Thought I'd come on here and talk a little bit about what I've been thinking about. I just got done doing a essay on Psalms 23. I'll be posting that on my blog. I think it's called WordPress.com. I got some feedback that maybe I shouldn't say all the time, but it's really hard because I think that possibly I'm better at research and reading than I am at speech. And if I sat here and read an essay, it'd be extremely boring and lack all kinds of character. So I guess people are just going to have to put up with the ums because when I'm thinking, I'm saying So I say a lot. That means I'm thinking a lot. At any rate, the essay that I did, which was on Psalms 23, it was really hard to find a translation that I liked, meaning that translations are so saturated with preconceived notions of the New Testament, and it totally takes away the context of what the psalm was actually about in order to place it in the proper time period and proper culture that it was supposed to be placed in. So the translation that I used was from the Tanakh, published by the Jewish Publication Society, the 1999 translation, which is a awesome text. It's got the Hebrew on one side and the English on the other, and it's a paraphrase version. So it's beautifully rendered as poetry. There's a couple themes, and I was looking through some stuff that I had, some articles, and one author compared the Psalms 23 to Anat's, the war goddess Anat, from the Canaanite Baal epic, her tirade, where she slices and dices in that peaceful valley that Psalms 23 talks about. So, Psalms 23, as put by this author, possibly could be the counterpart of the known, at that time the Baal epic was known because it was in the Canaanite religion at that time. It could be in retaliation to that sort of poem or epic. So Anat is slicing and dicing, and she kills warriors, she creates heroes in her house. There's a whole bunch of allusions to the same themes, same metaphors, and same symbols as in Psalms 23. And even though in Hebrew Psalms 23 starts out, Jehovah is my shepherd, because Jehovah was used instead of Yahweh in text, either Adonai or Jehovah. I could be correct. Somebody could correct me on this if I'm wrong. Many times the newer translations do have Yahweh in. Most it would be the Lord with Lord capitalized, which would be Yahweh. So the text start out in the Publication Society, Jewish Publication Society. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me to water in places of repose. He renews my life. He guides me in the right paths and benefits his name. Though I walk through the valley of deepest darkness, I feel no harm, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You anoint my head with oil. My drink is abundant. Only goodness and steadfast love shall pursue me all the day of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord for many long years. So this text, rendered this way, cuts out all the preconceived notions of a heaven. It's saying, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord for many long years, as if the rest of his life he will be a follower of Yahweh. And the first part of the text is Yahweh provides for him in life and also in death. However, in this text rendered this way, it takes out the idea of the afterlife. It just puts it straight out for many long years, which I think is really interesting. It's beautiful. Though I walk through the valley of deepest darkness, I feel no harm, for you are with me. And only goodness and steadfast love shall pursue me. That point right there is in stark contrast to Anat pursuing warriors in the valley, and she's up to her thighs in blood. It's very, very gory. So, and I'm going to read a section of this, because this is a beautiful text right out of the Baal Epic. Michael Coogan has probably one of the best translations, although there's others out there. You can look up the Ugaritic text in the Baal Epic. And then Anat went to battle in the valley. She fought between the two cities. She killed the people of the coast. She annihilated the men of the east. Heads rolled under her like balls. Hands flew over her like locusts. The warriors' hands like swarms of grasshoppers. She fastened the heads to her back. She tied the hands to her belt. She plunged knee-deep into soldiers' blood, up to her thighs in the warriors' gore. With the staff she drove off her enemies. With the string of her bow, her opponents. So, in Psalms 23, where the staff is guiding people, here it's used to slice and dice, which is in stark contrast. And what they're doing here is, in Egyptian society, when they used to hire merchants to go fighting for wars, and when we were in the temple of Kamobo, on the walls, Ramses would demand would give payment for hands. Later, it ended up being penises because, of course, people would bring both hands and get paid double. So where she ties the hands to her belt and the heads to her back, it might be either for some kind of payment that the warriors did at that time, or it could be kind of like taking a scalp or taking something from the enemy as proof that you killed them, and that sort of thing. So also, what isn't here is the idea of God preparing a table. It's put in as, I feel no harm, for you are there, your rod and your staff to guide me. You anoint my head with oil, my drink is abundant. So that was taken out of this translation, or it was translated in a different way. It would be interesting to, I know I have a Jewish subscriber, to come on and maybe shoot me an email about the Jewish afterlife and how that was viewed, because I know Sheol, they eat dust. You get a lot of imagery from Job and the Psalms of the underworld. But however, I was just wondering, I know some Psalms it says that Yahweh would be able to go down in there. New Testament ideas don't allow that to happen. The idea of hell in New Testament is separation from God. So the idea of the underworld, pre-exilic underworld ideas, kind of not Ezekiel had the same idea because of the bones and the dust. That's what existed in the underworld. You ate dust. There are references to the underworld with the same views in the ancient Near East, in the Aeneid and in the Iliad and Odyssey. In the Odyssey, when Odysseus goes to the underworld and talks with Achilles, who's down there. He's in the dust and he's eating dust, and there's no way of coming out. Same thing with Enkidu's vision of the underworld. He eats dust. So it'd be kind of interesting to find out at what period did those views change? I always thought that those ideas changed after the exile from the Babylonian and Persian influence, because only after the exile, the texts that were written after the exile, you have things like the different layers of heavens being created and names for angels being dealt out and such imagery. So maybe I'm wrong. I don't even know the modern day Jewish view of the afterlife or what they think about it, because I've been so saturated forever in Christian imagery that it would be hard for... I'm trying to toss all that right now so I can read the text correctly. So I don't know, maybe somebody could come on and help give me a little pointer. I would be most happy for that. So hope you enjoyed the video, and take care.